Hello, here I present you MicroDexedTouch, FM synthesizer, other synth modules, and Groovebox together with Akai APC Mini Mk1. So, like any USB MIDI controller, it is directly connected to the MicroDex. The MicroDex originally supports Akai APC Mini Mk2. However, I took a challenge by myself by buying the APC Mini Mk1, then tinkering a little bit with the source code for MicroDex because it is open source, which is great. And just by changing the MIDI notes for the side rows and columns, it became compatible with MicroDexedTouch. So we do a quick restart just to show the MDT logo scrolling down here. And then let's load my favorite demo, Clear Coast. Then what is nice to check is to not hear any MIDI notes when triggering initially the pads. So currently we hear the sounds from the e-piano. This may be annoying while we use this as a native controller, as a native interface for the MicroDex. So we just go to System Settings, MIDI channels, and set for e-piano different channel 2. Now we don't hear anything. So by default, the APC Mini sends MIDI messages on the first channel, let's say. We made this channel free just for control the functions of the MicroDex. So let's go back to pattern editor, and we see first rows represent the pattern steps as shown here on the right side. We can also audition them. So this is auditioning with the MDT itself. We can do the same here. Then by using these two rows on the middle, we can set different velocity level for each step. So use the fader. Yeah, now it is close to 0. You don't hear it. So back here, back online. Then we have this row, which represents the different samples. Then this row, which shows the volume for each sample. In our case, by having the APC Mini Mk1, we can't see a lot. We see either the pad on or off. On the Akai APC Mini Mk2, you would see variable brightness on this LED. So this is a first limitation for the Akai APC Mini Mk1. No support for variable brightness. and it has only a few colors, red, green, most of them, and yellow and white. I think these are all of them, together with some blinking modes. No variable brightness. We have the samples, which on the Mk2 are shown with different colors. In this case they are all green, and the same the steps are shown with different colors corresponding to the sample which was chosen. Regarding the blinking feature, in this case, when we select a sample, we see this LED being on. So this is for edit mode. With the Mk2 we would see this pad also blinking. In this case it is not, but even so we still have an indication, so I just have to be careful to this state here. So now if it is off, then I can play with the steps without worrying to alter anything. So now it is in edit mode, and I will just put steps, new steps here. Then for the sample pads we have the same functionality as in the original, the Mk2. So if I select a step, automatically the sample is assigned here on this on the same column. So let's here we have the cowbell, and now I select the second. As you see already the mistake, it was in edit mode, and I have overwritten this sample here. So I will undo. So we have the cowbell and the shaker, I believe. So now I have the cowbell selected here, and I change the volume level. Yeah, it's lower. And then with this being off, in view mode or in play mode, I select another step, let's say the one below, and this is the shaker, and I can change the volume level for the shaker to it's lower. So I set the levels back to the shaker, a bit too loud, and for the cowbell. Okay, so as you see we have just an indication of the LED off or on. So if it is totally muted, or yeah, it is not muted. Then what we have around, we have these four buttons from the last row. So these are for selecting different banks or samples, just to scroll the entire sample set. So this is by 8 steps, and this is by 1 step. So we can browse to each steps easily, and we can also audition each step easily. On the right column We have the first two buttons for changing to the next pattern, pattern 1, pattern 2, then back to pattern 0. Then this button, the third, is for play pause, or play and stop actually. Then we have these two buttons for entering in velocity edit mode, and they are two because we have 16 steps, and I select for which group I want to change the velocity levels with the faders. So in our case, let's say for the first row, if I move them all like this, they are also shown up on the screen, or all down here. Okay, then this has no function. Then for this button, it is for signaling edit mode. So when it is on, we can enter new sample, new steps. Yeah, the state can be changed also with the pad itself. So very flexible. Then we have the shift key, which this is screensaver mode. Yeah. And then with the shift key, we can change to different modes, to pattern mode, as we already are, or to song mode, or to mute matrix mode. So we covered up to now the pattern mode. We can go to the song mode. So back to song mode. What I noticed, it is not the best way to refresh the view by using the shift and the keys. At least for song mode, the best is to select it directly from the MicroDext itself. So song mode, it is doing a proper clear of the screen. So same as difference regarding the APC Mini Mk2. Instead of having various colors for chains, we have green and in this case blinking red. Blinking red corresponds to chain 1. If I change it to different value, 0, yeah, it's back to green. And then we switch to mute matrix, where we can mute different channels. Here we can't see if the channels are on or off. So we would have to look on the screen itself, where we have the disabled channels being gray and on are light blue. This is the end. I'm open for answering different questions.